Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the CNY Sports Authority Game of the Week as we get set for a terrific matchup between two of the very best teams in Class C in the BTM rankings. We're glad you're here with us for the showdown between the top-ranked Weedsport Wolverines and the number 2 team in the standings, the undefeated Frankfort-Schuyler Maroon Knights. Frankfort-Schuyler comes into tonight with a perfect 10-0 record and plenty of momentum. The Knights are coming off an impressive 68-31 win over Herkimer, where they showcased their balanced scoring attack. This is a team that averages 55 points per game, moves the ball exceptionally well, and can hurt you from the perimeter. Keep an eye on junior Lee Ferguson, one of the league's leading scorers, along with freshman standout Gianna McLean and sophomore Marina Herod, who give Frankfurt scoring threats at every level of the floor. But standing in their way tonight is the top-ranked Weedsport Wolverines, owners of a 9-1 record and the number 1 spot in the BTM rankings. Weedsport only loss came at a holiday tournament against Union Springs, and they've responded in a big way since then. Just last game, the Wolverines handed Tully their first loss of the season, holding on for a hard-fought 49-48 victory. Senior Mallory Brown leads the way for Weedsport, supported by a veteran lineup that knows how to win close games and control the tempo. So, something has to give today. Frankfort-Schuyler puts its undefeated record on the line while Weedsport looks to defend its top ranking on its home floor. Two teams, two different styles, and a whole lot at stake as we get ready for tip-off. Stay with us. This one promises to be a great one. Taking the tip for Weedsport is Mallory Brown. And she will win the tip for the Wolverines, going against Madeline Reed for Frankfort. Brown brings the ball up the floor, skips it over to Kirshner. Kirshner down into the corner. Tipped away, but Kirshner recollects. Drives in, kicks. Kirshner on the wing looking. Brown feeds Flask in the corner. Kayla Flask from 3 off the mark. Turnover goes to Frankfort. Frankfurt's first possession here now. Lee Ferguson brings the ball up the floor as they cycle this ball around the outside. Herod cuts to the corner, now feeds it inside, knocked away, and Brown comes away with it. Brown pushing the tempo up the floor. She's going to take it to the rack. Layup off the mark. Flask, rebound, goes up. Out of bounds called. Wolverines retain possession. Kirshner to inbound. She finds Brown. One dribble up, and it's in! Weedsport takes the early lead. Ferguson looks to drive, kicks. McLean out to Herod. Herod finds plenty of space on the right side, loses the handle. Picks up her dribble, is trapped. And another poke away, but it's retained by Isabella Paraguay, who kicks it to Ferguson for 3! Nothing but the bottom of the net. Both teams getting exactly what they want to start here. 2 big possessions. Frankfort leading 3-2 here early. Flask on the wing. Flask cuts to the hoop, dribbles back out and retreats. Kirshner, Brown, wing 3, off the mark. Ferguson with the rebound. Ferguson trapped. Weedsport picking up pressure right off the rebound as Herod will bring this one up the floor. Both teams feature a very balanced attack as that pass goes awry, and Weedsport will get the ball here at half court. Both teams feature very balanced attack. The Maroon Knights, Lee Ferguson leads the way with 15.2 points per game. Gianna McLean with 14.7 and Marina Herod 11.9 as Mallory Brown takes a deep 3. Can't find the rim there. Out of bounds. Frankfort basketball. Weedsport, on the other hand, led by Kayla Flask and Mallory Brown. Flask has 11.8 and Brown has 14.4 points per game. Keep an eye on those 5 names throughout the game. Gianna McLean cuts to the rim. Layup no good, but she does draw the foul. McLean off the mark on the first one. A packed house here on the Weedsport side of the stands, which is on our side, so we can't get a good visual of that. As McLean drains the second, and it's 4-2 now. Frankfort, Weedsport bringing it up the side. Flask between the leg dribble. Scans, finds Kirshner. Kirshner over down to the corner. Jordan powers off the mark. Rebounded by Reed. Reed pushes the tempo. Kicks it back out to Herod, and the Knights will set up their offense. 1 of 4 out. McLean drives and dishes. Ferguson now scans, pulls back out, moving the ball around well. McLean for 3. That'll fall short. Rebound battled for, and Weedsport will get the ball out of bounds. Powers brings it up for the Wolverines. Finds Brown, scanning. Tough pass handled by Kayla Flask, who puts it out to Brown. Brown's wing 3 off the mark. Rebound, Weedsport. Kirshner drives in, puts it up too strong. Rebound goes to McLean. Weedsport does a good job to stop the ball initially, but they still push the tempo. Isabella Paraguay puts up the 3, no good. Rebound, Kirshner. And we're out running here with both teams. Powers drives to the hoop and is pushed. There'll be a foul on Isabella Paraguay, and that's her first. Corner 3, Flask spots it up. Can't find the mark. Weedsport struggling to find their stroke early, but their defense is where they make their living anyway, and they get a turnover here to get another chance. Flask scans, Kirshner. Brown puts it on the floor, drives to the basket, nice move, and draws the foul on Herod. Marina Herod picks up her first. Brown going to the line for 2. Mallory Brown drains the first. Brown with the chance to tie it. That one will go off the mark. Rebounded by Reed. Reed pushes the ball up the floor as we're stuck in this corner here in Weedsport. But another turnover, and here comes Kayla Flask. Searching, scanning, out to Kirshner. Kirshner, 3 off the mark again. The 3-point ball just not falling here for the Wolverines early, but Brown is able to slash to the basket and get it to go. Weedsport back on top. Up in a full court press. Herod searching for Frankfort. Trapped at half court, gets it to Ferguson. McLean on the wing, and Gianna McLean hits the 3-pointer. Oh, I guess they call it a 2. It's 7. Oh, it was a 3. 7-7 now. The pace picking up. Both teams making baskets back and forth. Here comes Herod. McLean draws, but a block, and that will get passed up to Kayla Flask. Flask cuts the basket. It's good. Timeout called by Frankfort. And that's how Weedsport makes the living churning defense into offense. Both teams kind of struggling in half-court offenses, but getting out and running. Weedsport finds themselves ahead as we have passed the halfway point here in the first quarter. Weedsport finds themselves on the top of the BTM ranking, although they're 6th in Class C, averaging 54.4 points per game. And they're not on top. They're not in the top 5 in any statistical category so far this season. They're 6th in threes with 44, 12th in rebounds with 309, 9th in assists, 14th in steals, and 15th in block. Frankfort, however, does find themselves in the top 5 in several categories. They're 5th in points per game with 55. They're 2nd in Class C in three-pointers with 74. So Weedsport will have to make sure they keep them off that three-point line if they want to maintain this 2-point lead. Tough defense from the Wolverines. Skip pass. Ferguson, 3! And that's just what we were talking about. The Knights from deep are dangerous as Frankfort now takes the lead. Pass down inside. Megan House, she kicks it. Working it around. Flask from the corner. She answers with the 3 of her own. Back and forth we go here in Weedsport in this first quarter. Pass almost goes astray, but handled by McLean. Heron now cuts through. Ferguson. Ferguson with it up top. On the wing. Shot goes up and a 3 from Isabella Paraguay. And now, after a slow start, both teams are raining threes as Frankfort finds themselves ahead 13-12. Milton cuts the basket, can't get it to go, but does collect a rebound. Knocked away, Weedsport will keep the ball. Kirshner to inbound. Brown. Milton. Kirshner inside. Drives, kicks it back out to Brown. On the wing, she drives inside. Kirshner now tries to force it inside, and it's poked away. Frankfort having a chance here to build on a narrow lead, slow things down. Harrod scans. Paraguay puts it back to Ferguson. Ferguson to McLean. McLean, Harrod, corner 3. Nothing. Brown with the rebound. A great look, though, from the Knights as Kayla Flash scans and pops the jumper. 15-foot J won't go. Knocked around, and Ferguson will come away with it and push the floor. Weedsport does a good job getting back, but Ferguson does a great job holding up traffic and drawing the foul. That'll go against Megan House. That's her first personal. House making a name for herself for Weedsport on defense. She has 79 rebounds on the season and 7 blocks as the Wolverines look to drop into a 2-3 zone here. McLean finds Harrod cutting. Gets under the long arms of House, and Harrod will connect. It's 15-12. Mallory Brown brings the ball before. Cuts between 2 Frankfort defenders. Gives it to Flask in the narrow corner. Not a lot of room for your feet here between the three-point line and corner. And Mallory Brown drives the baseline and finishes. Back into this 2-2-1 press. Dropping into 2-3. Ferguson scanning. Hits Harrod. Harrod cuts through after giving it to McLean. McLean, wing 3, and she buries it. The three-point game is strong here with Frankfort as they take a 4-point lead here as we get underneath the first minute of the first quarter. That foul goes on Isabella Paraguay. That's her second personal. Mallory Brown will go to the line here as Milana Rocco will check in for Frankfort. Brown hits the first. But misses the mark on the second. Harrod comes away with the rebound. Can Weedsport stop this flurry of threes here from Frankfort? McLean on the wing. Harrod in the corner. She's trapped. Double team scanning. Does get it out to Ferguson. Ferguson now brings it back out on top. Skip pass. McLean on the wing. Tries to feed it back up top. It's deflected. Dancing on center court line. McLean for 3 with 3 seconds to go on the shot clock. Won't go. Rebound bounces around and is collected by House. Great outlet pass up to Kayla Flask, and it's good. It's 18-17. Weedsport pulls it to 1. 5 seconds to go. It's turned over. Kirshner cuts to the basket, goes up strong and draws the foul with 0.6 seconds to go in the first quarter. What a defensive flurry there from the Wolverines. They can take a lead here to end the quarter with Kirshner at the line. Kirshner's first shot falls short. Can tie it up with this one, 0.6 seconds. That one's long, no good. And that'll do it for the first quarter of action. Frankfort finds themselves on top, 17-18. Frankfort is coming off of a win against Herkimer. I mean, they're coming off of 10 straight wins as they're 10-0 this season. Just defeated Herkimer 68-31. Gianna McLean had 17 points in that game, and she's already starting hot today with several three-pointers for the Knights. Lee Ferguson finished with 15, and Marina Herod had 14. They are currently ranked number 2 behind Weedsport in the BTM model. Their opponents this year have not been the strongest, except for 2 victories earlier against West Canada Valley on December 16th and Lafargeville on January 2nd. Both those wins came by 6 points. West Canada Valley, that's their only loss of the season so far, and Lafargeville is on top of the Class D girls ladder. So 2 quality opponents there for Frankfort that they have beaten in narrow games. So they have been here before. Weedsport coming off of a tight win against Tully, who was the number 1 team going into that matchup the other day, until the Wolverines, who pretty much led from beginning to finish there, were able to pull out the 1-point win. As we start action in the second quarter, Ferguson scans against this 2-3 zone. McLean over to Herod. She looks, and then she cuts through. Up to Paraguay, over to Ferguson. Ferguson's 3 misses the mark a little bit long. Both teams struggled to get things going really quickly in the first quarter. Found their strides partway through. A nice pass finds it in the corner, off the mark there from Jordan Powers, but Flask comes away with the rebound. Tries a nifty pass, but it's knocked away. McLean drives to the basket and is cleaned out. Foul coming up here on Mallory Brown. Went for the block, got a lot of ball, but hit the body with hers, and McLean will go to the line shooting 2. Checking in for the Wolverines is Taylor Quinn, taking out Megan House. McLean off the mark with the first. And she misses both, and Quinn will come away with the rebound and push the floor. Brown with it. Comes near corner. Skip pass. Kirshner over to Powers. Powers, Kirshner. She scans. Flask calling for it up top, but she finds Quinn inside. Now out to Flask. Flask drives to the basket. Nifty move, but can't get it to go. Herod forces it off the mark and comes away with the rebound and is now pushing it the other way. Herod picks up the dribble. Looks inside and finds Madeline Reed for the bucket. Lob pass was dangerous, but collected by Flask. Quinn from 3, a little short, front of the rim, no good, and Herod's going to push the floor again. Euro step, and it's blocked. Kirshner now coming the other way. Fast pace basketball from Weedsport, and Flask buries the three. We're all tied up here in the second quarter, 20-20. That's the style that Weedsport wants to play, fast action up and down, as that three will bounce a little high from Ferguson and hit the cord coming down from the ceiling and go out of bounds. Checking in for Weedsport is Daisy Milton, giving Jordan Powers a rest here, as Kayla Flask will bring this ball up the floor as we hit the 6-minute mark. Mallory Brown will lose control but save it and keep it in play, and Marina Herod is going to push the pace. Ferguson, long range three, front of the rim, no good. Out of bounds, Weedsport basketball. Weedsport brings it up the floor. Corner three is a little long there from Milton, as Frankfort's defense has given them a little bit of pause. Gianna McLean does a nice up and under move, but off the brick. Paraguay for three, no good. McLean with the rebound. We're seeing why Frankfort is 7th in Class C in rebounding, as Marina Herod puts that 15-foot jumper away. Mallory Brown brings it up the floor, finds Flask from deep. No good, and a foul on the rebound goes on Daisy Milton. I believe that is Milton's second foul, as Weedsport will continue this pressure. Some soft pressure in that 2-2-1 zone, dropping back into 2-3. They're going to have to extend this zone out to take away the three-point shot that has been hurting them so far today. The challenge then is, how do you defend the drive? Inside, Herod blocked. Rebounded on the block is Madeline Reed, and she'll draw the foul as she goes up. That foul is going to go on Mallory Brown, and that's her second. And that could pose some problems here for Weedsport. Maybe that's her first. It's hard to tell from here. They don't give me the signals. Timeout, Weedsport. That'll be a 30-second timeout, as Reed converts that free throw and gives Frankfort a 4-point lead. Weedsport currently ranked number 1 in the BTM. They only have one loss on the season, and it doesn't count in the BTM because it was to an out-of-section opponent. They lost to Union Springs in the Cayuga Christmas tournament, 44-62. They just came off of a big win against Tully, handing Tully their first loss of the season. So can the undefeated Giant Killers of Weedsport do it again here and take down Frankfort-Schuyler? They held the lead throughout that game. Mallory Brown had 14. Daisy Milton added 11, with Kayla Flask putting in 10, and Megan House with 8 in a balanced attack that took down the Black Knights. As here's Jordan Powers picking up her dribble, but gets it over the top to Kayla Flask. An interesting defense here. A trapping sort of 2-3 zone with a lot of attention paid to Brown. Shot goes up and it won't fall. Sort of playing a boxing one, probably more of a diamond in one look here from Frankfort, with a lot of tension on Brown. And McLean steps on the line, out of bounds, turns it over. As we said, it is kind of a narrow court here, not a lot of space between the three-point line and the out-of-bounds line. A little home court advantage goes Weedsport's way. As we reach the halfway point here in the second quarter, Kayla Flask scans, kicks it over to the wing, as Kirshner tries to feed it inside, and Herod takes it away. McLean's out running. Fast-paced layup won't go, as Taylor Quinn brings this ball up the floor. Coast to coast. It's up but off the mark. Herod with the rebound. Good attack there by Taylor Quinn. Kind of unsure at the finish, and some nice defense there by Herod. Made that turnover not be a deficit for Frankfort. Paraguy's three is off the mark, but McLean gets the rebound. Knocked away by Kirshner. She'll recollect 25 on the shot clock. Ferguson for a deep three. Rattles in and out. Out of bounds. Rebound. And Weedsport will get possession. Checking in for Frankfort is Milana Rocco. She'll replace Paraguay. As Kayla Flask and the Wolverines will bring it down the floor. Solid defense in the corner. He'll get that knocked away. Sort of an interesting looking triangle in two. I think it's mostly a diamond in one here, but paying extra special attention to Kayla Flask. And sort of leaving some of these other Wolverines open. Flask pops the jumper, no good. Herod with the rebound. Maroon Knights have numbers. Herod feeds it over. Ferguson pulls it back out. As they'll set up their offense. Up by 4, just under 3 minutes to go. Flask tries to poke that away, but McLean is able to wrestle it back in. She puts it to Reed in the corner inside to Herod. Herod going through, but Brown strips it away, but it goes to Reed. Ferguson now. 5 on the shot clock. Herod, corner 3, buries it, toes on the line. It's a 2. And Herod's not going to come up as we have an injury on the floor. As Marina Herod put that one up with the time winding down on the shot clock. Looked as though she may have twisted her knee or landed on a foot and twisted an ankle. Herod is a sophomore for the Maroon Knights. She's got 119 points this season. She averages 11.9 points per game, 76 rebounds. She's second on the team in rebounds and second on the team in assists with 37. She has 21 steals on the season and a block for Jeff Adisak's squad. Hopefully a minor sprain that she can maybe come back from here, as her defense has been a big impact here in the first half. Class response as the Weedsport fans here give her a round of applause. She'll walk off the floor with the trainer here. They'll get her some ice. It did look like most of the attention was being paid to her ankle. And we will hope that it is nothing too serious here for Marina Herod. Very promising sophomore here from Frankfort. But we are back in action with 2:26 to go here in the first half. Jordan Powers over to Anna Kirshner. Up to Kayla Flask. She scans Brown, guarded in the corner, kind of standing off to the side here. Powers gets it. Flask cuts the basket. The pass is a little too slow, and Gianna McLean quick to get a poke on it and knock it out of bounds. Checking in for Frankfort is Tatum Lawrence, the freshman. Moving the ball around. They'll find Mallory Munn in the corner. She gets it to Kirshner, who comes back in, but she picks up her dribble. Out to Munn. Flask, wide open. 3 off the mark. Ferguson gets it in, puts it up to Lawrence. Lawrence is going to push the floor. She'll kick it to McLean. McLean thinks about it, hesitates, and then puts it on the floor to the basket. Rebounded there by Milana Rocco. And Ferguson now has it with 15 on the shot clock on the top of the arc. Reed scans. Lawrence. McLean Bates the pump on the pump fake, gets it into Reed. Fadeaway jumper, no good. Rebound is fought for underneath, and Munn will come away with it. And Weedsport's coming up running over to Jordan Powers. On the wing, she looks in, doesn't like what she sees. Finds Munn. Nice up and under move, and that's blocked, no good. Lawrence comes away with it. McLean attacking. Transition three, in and out. Unforgiving rim here as we hit the 1 minute mark. Left in the half. Jordan Powers flashes to the basket, and she sinks the layup. The senior, only averaging 2.3 points per game, finds two big ones here as they cut Frankfort's lead down to 4. Taken away, Kayla Flask, spin move to the basket with the left. Can't finish. McLean's good defense pushed her aside. Tatum Lawrence here, grabbing it, fighting for her life on that rebound. And a timeout called by Frankfort will save her underneath. When Weedsport is able to get out in transition and get this game up tempo, they have been dangerous. Frankfort has been pretty patient looking for their shots on offense, and the three ball has been on fire for them today as they find themselves up 26-22 with only 38 seconds left in the first half. 26 seconds on the shot clock. That means Frankfort will only have 6 seconds to get it across half court. We'll see if Weedsport ramps up the pressure here a little bit to see if they can get that 10-second violation and the ball back. Powers and Flask will apply the primary pressure here as McLean tries to dribble, and McLean has no problem taking it across half court. Reed, spin move, jumper from the free throw line is no good. Rebounded by Powers. Shot clock off. McLean almost grabs the lazy pass there to Flask. Flask now driving, takes a peek at the clock. 16 seconds to go. She's scanning, tries to find Powers underneath, but Lee Ferguson will pick it off and find McLean. McLean, fadeaway layup, no good. Munn can't get the rebound. McLean grabs her own board, goes up strong and can't get it to fall. Fadeaway three, no good. As McLean stays on the floor there, taking a shot to end the half. That will take us to the half. Hopefully she's all right and just had the wind knocked out of her. That would be another huge blow to Frankfort here if she couldn't continue. I think she'll be all right. She landed on the floor a little awkwardly, maybe hit a rib and knocked the wind out of her briefly. But that makes our halftime score 26-22, Frankfort on top. We'll take a 10-minute break and be back after that. All righty, and we're coming back to the action here in the second half to get started. At the half, Frankfort was led by Gianna McLean with 7 points. Marina Herod and Lee Ferguson each had 6. And good news for the Frankfort faithful, Marina Herod is back in the game after twisting her ankle earlier. Seen to by a very good trainer here in Weedsport. Looks like he wrapped her up as McLean will tie up Flask on this opening possession for a jump ball, picking her pocket and getting the ball back to Frankfort. Weedsport's offense was led in that first half by Kayla Flask with 10 points. Mallory Brown had 8, as Daisy Milton and Jordan Powers each added 2. Cutting through, Herod with the runner. It'll go. 28-22 now. Frankfort on top. Brown cutting to the basket. Into the corner. Skip pass. Kirshner looks down low to Powers. Wrangles that one in. Tough pass as Kirshner gets it, but that will bounce on the line. Out of bounds, and 2 empty possessions here for Weedsport to start the second half. Not what the Wolverines are after. Ferguson over to the side. Paraguay. She'll look to McLean. Wing 3. Gets the bite on the block, but can't connect. And here comes Milton down the court, wrapping all the way under the basket, and she'll draw a foul. That foul will go on Isabella Paraguay. That's her 3rd personal foul. The only player in foul trouble for Frankfort is Paraguay, as she finds herself with 3 now. Milana Rocco will come in. She had 4 points in that opening half. As Weedsport will find Powers. Long range 2 off the block, no good. Lee Ferguson will bring it up the floor. McLean popped to Herod. 3 off the brick, no good, but Rocco there with the rebound. Tries to go up, no good, blocked away. Bounces on the end line, out of bounds. Weedsport basketball. And we get a few empty possessions going both ways now for both teams. Flask over the top to Brown. Has it poked, but she'll retain it. McLean tries to double her up as she drops it off. Milton over to Kirshner. Kirshner drives to the rim, gets bodied, no call, rebound by Rocco. Ferguson now brings it up the floor. Powers gets her to stop defensively as the Wolverine 2-3 zone gets themselves set. Herod inside, has it poked away, and Flash comes away with it. Flash to Kirshner. Kirshner cutting down the rim again, right to the front of the rim. Layup no good. Herod with the rebound, tied up, jump ball. This jump ball goes Weedsport's way. Long inbound goes to Flask. Maybe that wasn't it was a jump ball. And up with Milton. No good. Flask trying to take control of this game underneath. She fights for that rebound and gets it. Kirshner kicks it. Flask deep. Wing 3. Front of the rim. No good, but rebound. And back in by Daisy Milton. Milton averages 7.7 points per game. She only had 2 up until that point. Now up to 4. Let's see if she can get more involved with this Wolverine offense. McLean getting a lot of jumps as Herod is able to bank that one in from a tough ankle. McLean's prevalence from 3 has drawn the Wolverine defense out, running and jumping at her. She's taken advantage by putting it on the ground. And the quick transition will bring about a foul here for Weedsport. And that goes on Daisy Milton. That's her 3rd personal. Megan House, the only other Wolverine in foul trouble with 2, and she will come in to replace Milton. This press hasn't given too much trouble, and as I say that, Gianna McLean steps out of bounds on the sideline and gives Weedsport the basketball right back. 30-24, 6-point lead here for the Maroon Knights. as we approach the 5-minute mark in this third quarter. Kirschner settles for a long-range three. No good. Bounces out. Flask, though, gets a rebound inside as House finds Kirschner cutting. She'll draw the foul. Kirschner slashing to the basket this half. There's the adjustment Weedsport wanted to see as that foul goes on Lee Ferguson. That's her second. Kirschner doing a great job taking the ball to the rack. Hasn't found points from it yet as Powers is wide open for the inbound. She puts it on the floor. It's a little hard off the glass. Herod grabs the rebound. Herod's ankle doesn't look to be affecting her as she cuts to the basket hard. Falls short, though, off the front of the rim. House grabs the rebound, and here comes Brown. Pushing the floor for Weedsport. Flash with the screen. Kirschner up and good. Nice pass there from Brown. And it's a 4-point game as Ferguson brings it up the floor. McLean drives, tries to find Rocco, but underneath the hands. And another empty trip here for Frankfort. And Weedsport can find themselves pulling this game into within one possession. Flask scans, Kirschner with it. Powers in the corner, baseline drive, kicks it to Kirschner. Three off the mark. Just a little long, but Powers chases it down, gets the rebound. Flask from the wing, off. House grabs the rebound, hits Flask, cutting the lefty, layup, no good. House grabs the rebound and is fouled. And it's getting loud here as Weedsport has packed the house for this big matchup. They knew what was at stake. The top two teams in the BTM rankings, the top two teams in Class C facing off. That foul went on Marina Herod. That was her second. Frankfort able to tie that one up and cool down this momentum from the Wolverines. Jump ball goes Frankfurt's way. Ferguson, stutter steps, able to hold that foot so she doesn't travel. McLean on the wing, scanning, gets a screen, kicks it. Herod, 15-foot jumper off to the right here. McLean, tough rebound. And it'll get bounced out, and it'll go Weedsport's way. Weedsport's defense hanging strong here for the last 2 minutes. Tough to break through as Flask now probes the defense. Kirschner, top of the arc, three off the mark to the right. Rebound, Mallory Brown, what a play to save it. Unfortunately, it goes right to McLean. She'll find Ferguson in the corner. Ferguson brings it back up, and she'll try to set up an offense here for the Maroon Knights. Ferguson looks for the three, but sees a hand in her face and thinks twice, pulls it down, and they call a travel. Her pivot foot dragging as she went up, and Weedsport will take a timeout as we have 3 minutes left in the third quarter. As we see what adjustments have been made, both teams' defenses have really ramped up the pressure in the half court to keep both teams from scoring very much here in the third quarter. Weedsport's brought a little more intensity, a little more activity attacking the basket as Kirschner is slashed to the front of the rim quite a few times and generating some good chances and some fouls here early in the third. Flask seems to just keep searching but not getting necessarily great looks. Just her shot just is not falling like it usually does today. As Weedsport will start it up, and here's Flask up top. Mallory Brown essentially taken out of this game right now in this box-and-one defense. Flask cuts to the basket, hits Jordan Powers. Are they going to find more production from his side? Wolverine, Kirschner looking to be that Wolverine. She puts it up high off the glass, no good. Tied up, jump ball. Ferguson ties it up with Megan House underneath. Weedsport's possession on the jump ball call. Flask from the corner finds Powers. Power scanning. She puts it up with only 3 seconds on the shot clock. Does hit the rim, but goes off the mark and out of bounds Frankfort's way. Checking in for Frankfort now is Tatum Lawrence, giving Milana Rocco a breather. Ferguson picks up the dribble and finds McLean. Harassed now by Flask. Flask takes it away, and a 10-second violation as that ball was in between possessions. The official calls the 10-second violation. Turnover. Ball goes Weedsport's way. And the battle between Flask and McLean is on now. Both great defenders locking each other down. Flask has that one knocked away, but finds Powers. She looks inside for House. Able to reach up and grab it. Puts it on the other side of the basket, and it's good. Neither team has scored for a few minutes, but Megan House is able to break it open, and it's only a 2-point game. Reed's shot off the front of the rim, no good. Rebound grabbed by House. 2 big possessions there by Megan House. And the Wolverines have a chance to tie this thing up or take the lead as we get under 2 minutes here in the third quarter. Flask, wing 3, too long off the block and out of bounds. Jordan Powers knocks that away. Frankfort basketball. Only 4 points scored here by Frankfort in this third quarter. Ferguson scanning, finds Herod, skips over McLean, wide open 3 off the front of the rim. Still nothing doing, but that one's taken back by McLean. Elbow, no good. House gets the rebound, kicks it to Kirshner, and Weedsport is off running. Kirshner up to Flask. What a stop and change of direction, and Flask has tied it up. The lefty gets to the rim, and it's 30-30. An 8-point third quarter run here by Weedsport. And the Wolverine crowd is woken up here. Ferguson trying to silence him with a long-range 3 from straight up, won't go. House grabs the rebound and draws the foul. Tatum Lawrence trying to tie things up. House just too big of a force inside. Grabs that board. And Weedsport has a chance now to take the lead with just over a minute to go here in the third quarter. Doubling up Frankfort this quarter, 8-4 so far to bring this thing back to a tied game. Kirshner on the wing, scanning. House skips it. Flask, 3, off the mark, rebound House. She doesn't even land, a tip in, and it's 32-30. Weedsport takes the lead. That pass off the mark. It's loud in here, and the momentum is getting to the Knights as that one is just tossed away by Ferguson. Weedsport basketball. Isabella Paraguay checks back in for Frankfort. 3 fouls sat her out. Coach Adasak, though, seems to think that she needs to be back out there to get this momentum stopped. 35 seconds scanning. Flask back to Kirshner. Straight up 3-pointer. Oh, off the brick. No good. McLean grabs the rebound and is off running. Over the top pass is deflected by Flask, but Reed is able to come away with it. Herod, straight up 3, nothing but the bottom of the net. And finally, it's been 5 minutes since the last Frankfort basket, but Marina Herod, who went out with an ankle twist in the first half, buries that 3, and they're up by 1. 6 seconds left. Flask, 3-pointer, falls short, nothing. Brown throws it off of Paraguay underneath. And Weedsport will get the ball underneath the basket with 1.7 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Inbound, out to Brown. Long range. Can't find it. What a quarter there from Weedsport to bring this game back. They were down by 6. And now it's a 1-point ball game. A flurry of baskets there. Frankfort's offense went completely quiet. The Wolverines' defense shutting them down for a 5-minute stretch there until with under a minute to go, Marina Herod buries another 3 So many threes on the day for Frankfort. That's how they're making their living. That's how they have all season. They are second in Class C with 74 threes this year, and they have ramped that up. I believe they've hit at least 6 threes in this game as they find themselves up 33-32. Be interesting to see what adjustments they make. I would expect Frankfort to stick with this diamond-and-one defense. It has taken Mallory Brown pretty much completely out of this game. She had 8 points in the first half. She's averaging 14.4. So Weedsport does have a pretty balanced attack with Brown and Flask and Kirshner getting to the basket. But Kirshner was held scoreless in that first half. She needs to get more involved here, and she has actively been taking it to the basket here and getting open looks at the top of the three, just not able to connect. Flask finished the first half with 10 points. She's got 11.8 points per game, so she's picked up some of that slack. But Weedsport's got to find some production somewhere else if they can't find a way to get Brown some open looks. Frankfurt's big three are serving up big 3 points, but Lee Ferguson has gone kind of quiet here with McLean and Herod bearing the brunt of the load. Frankfort starts things up with the ball to start the last 8 minutes here in this final frame of play. Undefeated Frankfort. Paraguay, wing three, off the mark, but a foul called. That foul will go on Jordan Powers. That's her first. And Paraguay will shoot 3 free throws to get things started off. A nice free possession here for Frankfort to extend that lead. Paraguay's first shot is off the mark. Just under 8 minutes to go here between the top 2 teams in Class C as Paraguay hits the second. Frankfort looking to stay undefeated. Weedsport looking to stay on top. Paraguay hits 2 for 3, and it's a 3-point game. Brown brings it up the floor. She searches down that right side, drives all the way to the basket and goes up strong and connects. That's one way to get her going. Herod trapped, but finds Ferguson. Ferguson up top. Looks to McLean. She cuts through. Herod now. The Wolverine fans bringing up the chant, bringing up the noise. That pass is cut off by Megan House. She hits Jordan Powers, cuts the basket. Lefty layup's good. Weedsport back on top, 36-35. Deflected away, and it's another turnover. Kayla Flask tips it. Brown grabs it. She goes to the basket and draws the foul. I believe that foul was called on Lee Ferguson, which would be her third. Brown's first free throw is off the mark. One-point lead, 7 minutes to go. Brown's second free throw is good, and it's a 2-point game. The Wolverines are the Giant Killers, but Brown called for the foul there. She tried to hold up on the sideline, but couldn't get there first. That'll be her second foul of the game. Herod up top for Frankfort. She launches the three and buries it. They're going to have to step out and be more aggressive defending it. Caught him sleeping on that one. Nothing but net. And Brown tries to go coast to coast again. Has it poked out. Frankfort faithful think that bounced off her leg. The official sees it as Weedsport ball. Frankfort is back on top, 38-37, 6:45 to go. Kirshner hangs on to it, finally finds Powers up top. Jordan Powers back to Kirshner. Kirshner to Flask. She scans with House in the middle and Brown in the corner. Kirshner open, left alone. Flask, wing three. That one's long. Can't get it to go. And Ferguson brings this one up the floor, going by every Weedsport defender, but off the mark. Kirschner gets the rebound and has it poked from behind and loses the control. Out of bounds, Frankfort ball. This game is living up to the hype. Herod up top. Ferguson to McLean. Scanning McLean, looks, draws two defenders, kicks it across to Ferguson. Ferguson scanning, not looking to shoot, finds Paraguay. Paraguay brings it over and finds McLean. McLean scans at Ferguson now. Jumper from the elbow, off the mark, but rebounded by Reed. Kirschner, though, just comes in and rips it right out of her hands. Over the top pass to Flask. Too hard, can't be handled, and it's a turnover with just under 6 minutes to go. Frankfort basketball up by 1. A full crowd here on the Weedsport side of the bleachers as Herod comes through and silences them with the 10-foot jump shot. It's 40-37. Powers harassed by McLean, picks it up, finds Flask at the top. Flask getting Kirschner, thinks about the wing three, takes that one from 2, toes on the line, she hits it. 39-40 as Anna Kirschner hits that one to bring Weedsport back within 1. Herod finds Ferguson. Ferguson settles for the shot if no one's going to step, but it bounces off the mark. No one there to rebound. Weedsport basketball. A wide open look there for Ferguson. I think if she was looking right from the beginning, she probably would have buried it. Again, Weedsport's got to extend that pressure out on that zone, or Frankfurt's going to continue to kill them from 3. Their half-court offense has got to find something. They look into House for that answer. She kicks it to Flask. Flask puts it on the floor, retreats. Kirschner wide open from 3. That one's off the mark. She knew it the second and left her hand. It was going a bit wide of the mark. Frankfort basketball timeout called by Jeff Adisak. A full timeout here for Frankfort as both teams just trading blows. Defense obviously the mark here. Both teams well under their points per game. Still have a chance to get close, but the way things have been going, I don't know if they're going to get there. Frankfort averaging 55 points per game. Weedsport averaging 54.4. And, man, points have been hard to come by. Can both teams heat up here late as we trade possession for possession? This game has some pretty big implications for the BTM as a large crossover matchup between CSC and OHSL. The BTM pretty unforgiving if there's not a whole lot of crossover matchups. And, man, one of these top matchups could really shake things up for every team across the board, depending on who comes out on top. Right now, the BTM has the OHSL labeled as the stronger league, giving Weedsport that top seed. If Frankfort is able to hang on to this 1-point lead and win, though, that'll flip that script. Weedsport applies soft pressure. Flash gets a touch on that, but not able to knock it all the way away. Paraguay able to get it to Ferguson, although tough read puts it on the floor, but off of Megan House's foot. She kind of panics with the ball, and that's going to be called a travel as she takes some steps. Can't decide where to pass that one off to. Flask will bring the ball up the floor for the Wolverines. Over to Kirschner. She's wide open, but skips it back to Flask. Flask down to Brown. Brown wants to put it on the floor and drive. Has no space. Kirschner, wing 3. Oh, my gosh. I thought it was down. It bounces just off the mark. Out of bounds, and it goes Frankfort's way. Herod scanning. Looking, tough pass is handled by McLean. She'll skip it back over to Herod. Nice ball fake there. She drives to the basket. Too strong. Reed with the rebound. Over the towering House, but off the mark. Mallory Brown now puts it on the floor. Flash thinks about it. Launches it. And buries it. The wing three from Kayla Flask. And Weedsport is up 42-40. Herod gets it. She's been silencing the crowd all night. Paraguay launches that three, and she hits it. And we're back and forth again. 43-42, under halfway through this fourth and final quarter. Powers in the short corner, drives, floater, no good. Bounces around, Mallory Brown can't control it. It stays with Weedsport underneath. Every time Weedsport seems to go on a run, Frankfort appears to have an answer. Kirshner into Flask. She immediately retreats and comes back out and sets up with 15 on the shot clock. Kirshner looks in, feeds it off to Brown. Mallory Brown harassed all game by Reed. She drives in, lefty layup's no good. Lost the handle there on the way. Ferguson up to McLean. That one's a little tough to handle, goes too far, and bounces on the line out of bounds. Official's going to check on McLean, who launched herself trying to save that one right into the padded walls. And not a lot of padding in that padding on the walls. Flask now brings it up. 3 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Weedsport down by one. Flask scans into House. House, elbow jumper off the mark, no good. Herod with the rebound. Herod drops it off to Ferguson. The Weedsport fans here making some noise. Paraguay, Ferguson inside to Reed. Reed, turnaround jumper off the mark, no good. A nice look, but a little rushed. I think that's the challenge of having Megan House defend you, is you got to be quick to get it up past that towering reach. House leads Weedsport with 7 blocks on the season. Kirshner scanning. Frankfort's half-court defense has given Weedsport trouble. Flask puts up the three. It bounces heavy off the back of the rim and hits the cord on the basket, and it'll go out of bounds. Timeout called by Frankfort. This will be a 30-second timeout. Weedsport Wolverines off to a 9-1 start this season. Won 4 straight league championships from 2019 to 2022. They've gone through a little drought here and looking to get back. This isn't a league game, but could definitely help propel the Wolverines through the second half of this season. Frankfort, undefeated so far, 10-0. Perfection on the line. 2 minutes to go here in the fourth. 43-42. Herod scans. Ferguson back inside. Nice post move, and she settles for that jumper. Off the block, rebounded by Mallory Brown. Brown with McLean harassing her, gets by on the corner, picks up her dribble, finds Kirshner up top. Kirshner scans, saw House, but House didn't see her, and so she's got to cycle it out to Flask. Powers on the wing, thinks about it. Kirshner, corner, three, too hard. House grabs the rebound, trips and stumbles, and will get a travel violation. Couldn't keep the momentum from taking her over. Weedsport now up in the pressure here. McLean brings it down on the sideline, finds Ferguson. Ferguson's been pretty quiet, trying to facilitate most of this action, as McLean has had a great game. She finds Paraguay. Herod, harassed, double teamed inside, gets around the towering House, and it bounces, hits every part of the rim and won't go in. Kirshner brings it up the floor for Weedsport as we hit the 1 minute mark here in the fourth quarter. Weedsport down by 1, 43-42. Neither team has scored here in recent history. Powers, wing three, off the mark, off the front of the rim, rebounded by McLean. 47 seconds. Powers, what a great job defensively to get back. Ferguson had leaked out into the backcourt. Jordan Powers puts on the afterburners and tips that away and knocks it out of bounds. Weedsport takes the timeout, a full timeout here with 44 seconds to go. Both teams held under 10 points under their usual average for the season. We'll see what Weedsport does here to try to lock down and keep this a one-possession game. A 2 doesn't kill you, but a 3 would be big. They've got to keep Frankfort from making a three-pointer here, and Frankfort's been burying three-pointers all night long. Frankfort hasn't had a basket here in a few minutes, though, so we'll see if they can find the bottom of the bucket. I would probably look for Herod inside. She's been making some nice post moves, although Megan House is tough to work around in there. I think I'd probably look for Herod inside and then kick it to McLean or Ferguson. Frankfort coming out in a stacked set here. Expect Ferguson to jump to the corner here. And Herod to post up inside. Maybe we cycle it back and forth between Ferguson and McLean. Let's see what we got. Herod sets a screen. Ferguson does pop out. She doesn't even look inside. They look to run the clock here. 22 seconds on the shot clock, 38 seconds on the game clock. Taking the time down. Adasak wants to limit the possessions of this game. Under 30 seconds now, 10 on the shot clock. Reed gets it on the side, drives to the basket, and a foul. That is a huge foul there on Weedsport. I believe it was called on Mallory Brown. That's going to be her third personal, but that's huge because it resets the shot clock. I thought the foul was going to be on Megan House. I could have been wrong. Officials don't give me the signal, so we got to guess on that one. But that foul resets the shot clock. They had Frankfort kind of locked in and only about 5 seconds to go. With the reset of the shot clock now, Weedsport has to foul and create something or get a turnover. They don't have to foul immediately, although they only have 5 fouls this quarter, which means they will need 2 to get them to put Frankfort at the line. So you either need to foul really quickly, twice, or you try to get that turnover, try to trap. It is a tough part of the floor that they are in. Kind of locked in the corner underneath the basket. Their typical inbound plays will work here. Weedsport looks like they're coming out in man-to-man out of the zone that they've been in all game. Herod sets the screen for Ferguson. Ferguson gets it. She will be fouled by Mallory Brown. Expecting it. She just kind of shells up in the corner. So that takes us to 4 team fouls. Now a foul will put them on the line. So if you're Weedsport, you're looking to try to trap and get a turnover here as Kirshner knocks that one out of bounds. Trying to get the turnover first. If you can't get the turnover, then I think you got a foul. Weedsport will take a timeout here. With 23 seconds left to go. 23.3 seconds. Weedsport is down by 1. You can trap and try to get a turnover here. There is still 20 seconds, but if that doesn't work, you're going to have to foul after that probably first pass. Put them on the free throw line. If they make both, you're down by 3. And you try to find probably Flask or Kirshner for the 3 ball to tie the game up. If they only make 1, you can drive to the hoop and try to tie the game or take the final 3 to win it. Drama here in Weedsport. 22 seconds to go. They reset the clock. Ferguson is able to break free. Brown harasses her, and she'll get called for the foul. That's Brown's 4th. She's had a quiet night, locked up all night by Madeline Reed, doing a great job defensively for Frankfort, not allowing her really clear passage to the basket, as Lee Ferguson goes to the line shooting 2. Ferguson, sweet stroke, nothing but net on the first. The Weedsport bleachers are rumbling. Ferguson, pressure on, hits it, nothing but net on the second, and it's a 3-point game. 45-42, timeout. Weedsport, they'll advance the basketball. Girls basketball adopting the NBA rule. That within that final minute, you can take a timeout as long as you haven't done anything with that possession and advance the ball into your offensive half. Great rule if you like offense. Not a great rule if you're trying to defend. So they'll have 21 seconds to try to find a 3 to tie. Still enough time that they don't need a 3. They could attack the basket and try to make a 2, pull it to a 1-point game and get a turnover or foul on the inbound and hope that they miss the free throws. I think that is those last 2 free throws would show you that you don't want Lee Ferguson to get the ball if that's the case. She steps up to the line and sinks 2 major free throws. Nothing but net. This game has lived up to the hype here as it comes down to the wire. 21 seconds to go. Inbounded to Powers. Powers is fouled. Gianna McLean picks up the foul. They got a lot of fouls to give before they get to the bonus, so they're going to try to tick away a few seconds here. And now Flask with the ball. Harassing, 15 seconds. Kirshner thinks about the 3, cuts to the basket. Up for 2, and it's no good. Megan House, rebound, too strong. Kirshner, Brown, House fighting for it. Herod grabs it, and it's a jump ball with 5.6 seconds to go. Weedsport has possession on the jump ball. They'll get another look. Powers, open up top. Fouled. 3.5 seconds to go. A good foul kills more time. 3.5 seconds to pull 3 points out. What do they set up here? Flask cutting. They get it to Brown. Brown launches. That one is way off the mark. High. She had 3 seconds. 3 seconds is a long time. I know it doesn't seem like it, but she grabbed it and put it up. And with 0.4 seconds, that's going to do it. Frankfort comes to town and stays undefeated, taking down top-ranked Weedsport on the road. A huge game by Gianna McLean and Marina Herod. Lee Ferguson locking the win in with 2 clutch free throws to finish things at the end. What a game here in Weedsport. Look for these 2 teams come sectional time. Thanks for joining me. I'm Jay Lehman of CNY Sports Authority. Small schools, big coverage, CNY Sports.